Hello and welcome back to Stress Unplugged. I'm your host Dr. Ramprakash, and today we are talking about how stress ripples through every part of our lives, our mind, our bodies, and even our behavior. Stress doesn't just stay in your head, it spills into your whole life. Let me tell you a story to illustrate how this happens. Meet Neha. She's just had her first baby, and while this is one of the happiest times in her life, it's also one of the most stressful times. Between the sleepless nights and the constant worry about doing everything perfectly and the pressure to return to work, Neha feels like she's barely holding it together. On top of that, her body feels exhausted, her patience is running thin, and she's not acting like herself. Recently, she argued at her partner for something very small, like forgetting to pick up milk, and afterwards, she barely recognized her own reaction. What's happening to Neha is something many of us experience. Stress taking over not just her thoughts, but her body and behavior too. So let's break this down. First, let's talk about how stress affects your mind. When you're stressed, your brain is constantly on high alert. This can lead to anxiety where you're always waiting for something to go wrong, or racing thoughts where your mind jumps from one worry to another. It's like your brain never gets a moment to relax. For Neha, this looked like constant overthinking. Was my baby okay? Was she being a good mom? Was she going to be able to balance work and parenting? All these worries ran through her mind on a loop, making it hard for her to focus or feel at ease. But stress doesn't just stop in the mind, it shows up in the body too. Neha's body was giving her all the signs: constant tension in her shoulders, headaches, and a feeling of fatigue that sleep couldn't fix. You see, when you're stressed, our muscles tense up, our immune system weakens, and we are more prone to illness. Even our digestion can be affected. Have you ever had a stomachache during a particular stressful time? That's no coincidence. Stress triggers a sequel of physical reaction that wears us down over time. Think about it. Have you ever woken up with a stiff neck or sore back after a stressful week? It's because your body is holding on to that tension, often without you even realizing it. Finally, let's talk about how stress changes your behavior. Remember when Neha argued at her partner over something silly? That's a common stress response. When we are stressed, we are more likely to be irritable, short-tempered, or even withdrawn. You might find yourself avoiding people or situations because everything feels overwhelming. This is how stress starts to affect our relationships. Neha loved her husband, but when she was stressed, she had less patience and more frustration. And it wasn't just at home. At work, she found herself postponing on tasks she used to enjoy because she just didn't have the mental energy to focus. Stress can make us act in ways that feel out of the character, shouting at loved ones, avoiding responsibilities, or even reaching for unhealthy coping mechanisms like eating junk foods or excessive TV time or scrolling Instagram or Facebook for hours together. The key takeaway here is that stress isn't isolated, it's a ripple effect. It starts in your mind, spreads to your body, and shows up in your behavior. And if left unchecked, it can destroy your health, your relationship, and your overall well-being. So how do we manage these ripple effects? The first step is recognizing the signs. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you feeling more anxious or irritable than usual? Is your body tense or tired even after resting? Or are you behaving in a way that doesn't feel like you? By becoming more aware of how stress affects us, we can start to take action. In upcoming episodes, we'll explore practical strategies to break the stress cycle, like ways to relax your mind, care for your body, and find balance in your life again. That's it for today's episodes of Stress Unplugged. Next time, we'll dive deeper into how stress can impact your relationship and how you can reconnect with people you care about, even when stress is weighing you down. See you next time on the next episode of Stress Unplugged. Thank you.